They laughed before the fight. Harsh, echoing laughter that filled the dim training hall like a cruel storm. 10 Navy SEALs, shoulders squared and jaws tight, stood across from her. They mocked her slight frame, her calm gaze, her silence. "She won't last a minute," one whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. The others chuckled, confident, almost careless. But the woman didn't flinch. Her hands were steady. Her heart, though, pounded with the memories of every battle she had survived alone. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. She was not a stranger to doubt. All her life, she had been underestimated. In the academy, in the field, even within her own squad, people looked at her and saw fragility where steel lived. And now, as the SEALs surrounded her, their eyes carried that same mistake. But deep inside, she whispered to herself, they don't know what silence hides. They don't know what storms leave behind. The air grew still, thick with the scent of sweat and sand. Boots scuffed against the mat. A drop of water from the ceiling tapped rhythmically, like a ticking clock. The crowd that had gathered around grew restless, murmuring, exchanging bets under their breath. And yet, she only listened to her breathing, slow, steady, unbroken. Then the signal came to in the space of a heartbeat. Silence shattered. The first SEAL lunged forward, powerful, precise, and in a single fluid motion, she dropped him flat, a strike so clean it left the others blinking in disbelief. Gasps rippled through the crowd. For the first time, their laughter faltered, but she wasn't finished. Another came at her with brute force, swinging low, but her body bent like a reed in the wind. A sharp pivot, a calculated strike, and he fell beside the first. 2 down. The room erupted in shocked whispers. The men who had laughed now shifted uneasily, the smirks bleeding into tension. She could feel their doubt turning to unease, like the tide shifting before a storm. One after another, they came. 3 at once. 4 together, trying to overwhelm her. But she moved with a rhythm they couldn't match, every strike measured, every counter perfect. Dust rose from the mats as bodies hit the ground in heavy, echoing thuds. Her hands trembled slightly afterward, not from fear, but from restraint. She knew she was holding back more than she revealed. 7 down. Only 3 remained. For a moment, everything stopped. The last SEALs exchanged glances, their pride clashing with the dread written across their faces. The crowd hushed, every breath caught in the fragile stillness. She stood, shoulders squared, sweat glistening, her eyes calm but fierce. And then, like a wave breaking, the last 3 charged. It was over in seconds. A sweep, a twist, a strike, and the hall fell into stunned silence. 10 Navy SEALs lay on the ground, defeated by the woman they had laughed at. N01 spoke at first. Even she stood still, her chest rising and falling, her hands slightly curled, as if bracing for one last fight. But then a sound came. Not laughter, not whispers, but applause. Slow at first, then rising, breaking the silence like thunder rolling over distant hills. The very crowd that had doubted her now rose to their feet, their eyes filled not with mockery, but with awe. And in that moment, she felt no pride in the defeat, no joy in proving them wrong. Only a quiet truth settled in her heart, that strength was not measured in size, nor in titles, but in the resilience no one else could see, because true power doesn't shout. It waits, it endures, and when the time comes, it speaks for itself. The same laughter that once tried to bury her was now the applause that lifted her higher. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more stories like this. Stories that remind us that courage often wears the face of silence.